Hello and welcome to episode 58 of the DaebakCast. This is a podcast where the three of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the industry. This week we're going to be talking about a few topics this week. No album reviews. This week we're going to be talking about some Olympic athletes at the Olympics in Korea this year. The unit. Nate's going to talk a little bit about that. I watched some of it. And then we're also going to talk about DSP and their founder who just passed away and sort of his legacy. And then also a short topic about BlackPink's supposed upcoming album and a little speculation about that. So, on with the show. As always, I'm joined by Nate.
I don't have any lyrics today. Just no reviews, no questions. So leave us questions if you have any on Twitter or YouTube that you want us to answer on the show, and I'll bring them up. And then if you would review us on iTunes, that'd be great, and we'll read it off. We've got a few right now, but it always helps to have more.
Yep. And Andrew usually has three things.
Well, first of the three things is I apologize for my voice and my appearance because I am dying from the flu. Not really dying, but I mean the worst of it's gone, knock on wood. But yeah, I've been pretty bedridden for the past couple of days, so yeah, I look like crap. But besides all of that, like I'm fine. It's just pretty hard to sleep at night because pretty much like my throat is so sore that like I couldn't get like a good night's rest for like 3 days. But I mean, staying at home, I did have plenty of time to catch up or start, like I had nothing else to do, so I started watching Running Man, which I've finally seen the light on what like the amazingness that is Running Man. I mean. So
Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, better late than never. But like, I'm weird because I'm starting with like the most recent episodes, aka everything that doesn't have Gary in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like I like the new cast. They seem to work pretty well, and I mean, yeah, because they're I can think like April last year they were joined by, after Gary left, they added 2 new cast members, John So-min and Sechan. I love Somin. That's not just a card thing too, but yeah, she's like I think she's some type of actress or whatever, but yeah, she's pretty funny. And
you gotta go back and watch some of the episodes with Gary, because like there's a lot of jokes involving him and Jihyo, which is really funny.
I know they're the Monday couple, but I do like Somin and Kwangsu are like they're a couple now, or they're the couple now basically, just because they're the betraying couple because they always betray people on the show. And my third thing is I didn't have yet to see the Black Panther movie, though I think Nate, you have. How was it? Good?
Yeah, I saw it on Friday. Yeah, it was good. It's weird because I don't know, the last few Marvel movies have been a lot more comedic, and this is a lot more serious. So it didn't feel like a Marvel movie, just because I mean we've had Ragnarok and Spider-Man and Guardians 2.
That's probably because it's Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler's a pretty serious director, because before this he did Creed, and before that he did Fruitvale Station, everything with Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, that's why.
But yeah, like I mean there's jokes in it and there's some comedy, but like it's more like it's a lot like Winter Soldier. Like there's jokes, but
I mean Winter Soldier was one of my favorites. But anyway, like, the reason why I wanted to talk about it though is because the amazing soundtrack recently came out. It's basically just everyone that's on Kendrick Lamar's label, Top Dog Entertainment, all doing like an entire mixtape worth of like, so it's like Kendrick Lamar, SZA, like The Weeknd, Anderson .Paak, James, like there's like all these like amazing guest verses and all this sort of stuff. Schoolboy Q, Future's on a song, but he kind of ruins it because I hate stupid like auto-tune, like his stuff is, or his rapping style is just garbage or whatever. But I mean, other than that, yeah, it's a pretty good album, and I'm excited to go see the movie just based on that soundtrack alone. So yeah, those are my 3 things, and I'll try not to talk as much because my voice is dying. So take it away, Jacob.
All right, so I'm Jacob, obviously, Still no blown up for like the billionth week in a row. I literally have no idea where the book is. So I'll just, maybe I'll do what Nate said and just look up literally just quotes from the book and start doing that. Anyways, I guess we can go right into Andrew's first topic if he wanted to start off with that.
Talk more.
Sure.
No, but just get it out of the way and then.
Yeah, I'll just get it out of the way while I still have my voice. Okay. So, just for this first topic, I wanted to highlight some of the athletes that have sort of made their name here at the Pyeongchang Olympics over the past week or so. Not all of them are necessarily Korean by birth or whatever, but I did want to like highlight a few of them. So, this first guy I've got right here, his name is Alex Kam or Alex Kangjam Kam. Like it's a pretty like long name if you include like the middle part. But he's actually a Kiwi. He's actually New Zealand born, but like obviously of Korean descent. He's a figure skater. He does pairs figure skating, I believe. He sort of blew up first on the Olympic scene because, as I have the picture here, he did the patented H3H3 Vape Nation pose, like because for figure skating there's usually how they do it is there's usually like it's called the kiss and cry area where basically they announce your score and then there's like you have your whole team with you there, so that's why they have cameras there. So when they're announcing the score for Korea, that's why he put up the Vape Nation sort of thing. And then after that he blew up. He got onto the front page of Reddit, and like it turns out he's like a secret Redditor too. Like he put like he sort of got famous, and like Ethan put his picture like on his Instagram and everything. He was like, "Oh, I got noticed by like Daddy noticed me or whatever," like something like that. It's pretty funny. Yeah, he seems like a pretty like chill kid. Also, it's interesting to see that he, despite being like he was born and raised in New Zealand, but he's competing for Korea. I mean, I do have some like video or like there are some like footage of his competition stuff, but I mean he's not no threat to like he and his partner are no threat to like get any medals, whatever. But he's still a pretty cool guy. Another thing that got popular was him doing this clip of him. Basically, he had like they have like there's this really popular thing going around like these Olympic glasses, like the ring glasses, and then he has the Olympic rings glasses, and then he pulls them down and he has another pair of sunglasses underneath.
Yeah, he had aviators under him.
Yeah. So that got popular, and he like that got him even more popular or whatever. So yeah, basically, he seemed like the Olympics are like legitimately like they're a once in a lifetime sort of thing. So it's cool to see that he's enjoying himself when literally you never know if you're ever gonna go back to another Olympics, let alone go to an Olympics where you're representing the host nation like this. So it's definitely a lot of stress. So it's cool to see him enjoying himself. He's definitely I'd say he's a self-proclaimed meme lord. If you just look at his Instagram, it's just all like jokes or whatever. But yeah, he seems like a pretty cool kind of guy, and I hope he does well in his Olympic career. The next person is not Korean, but she's definitely making waves when it comes to like promoting Korean culture and K-pop and that sort of thing. That would be the Russian lady skater that goes by the name of, oh god, it's Russian, so I'll try to pronounce this. Evgenia Medvedeva, I believe is how it's pronounced. So I think she's like 16 or 17 or whatever, but she started. She's one of the favorites to win the gold in singles. Technically they're Olympic athletes. She has to go. The sad thing is that she can't compete under the Russian flag because Russia was indicted on a huge like doping scandal or whatever. So basically, Russia is banned. But the athletes still just have to compete under the Olympic flag, and even if they win any medals, they can't hear the Russian national anthem, and it'll never count towards Russia. But at least they can still compete, which is nice.
Cool.
So yeah, Evgenia she's a really big K-pop fan, like really big, because there's a lot of videos like on her on the internet of her doing like choreography to, I don't know, EXO songs. I believe EXO is like one of her like most favorite groups, because
I see this video of her dancing to Overdose in the airport.
Yeah, it's like she's pretty much your typical sort of like teenage girl that's into K-pop, and like there's a bunch of other people like this that exist in the world, not just in the United States. Like, she's a pretty normal teenage girl, except she's a potential Olympic champion, and it seems like that's actually a pretty like normal thing when it comes to like there seems to be a lot of K-pop fans in Russia, because I know they have a lot of concerts. So maybe it's a proximity to Korea.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, or they're just probably exposed to the culture more. But it seems like there's a really big like exposure sort of thing. So yeah, she started blowing up because she talked about how before she goes on the ice, the music she's listening to when she warms up is like EXO and BTS and that sort of thing. So after hearing this, EXO actually like gave her a signed CD, and like they autographed, because I believe, and they wrote some type of, I can't remember exactly what the phrase was. But it was a phrase. They wrote a phrase in Korean that what they usually say to like athletes or whatever. It's like, be healthy and stay well or something like that. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. And as far as I know, she's actually gonna get to meet EXO after the closing ceremonies, which, so that's crazy. She's living the dream right now, where she's an Olympic she's an Olympic like athlete. She has the chance to win gold for her home country, and she's competing in like Korea, which is like she still love the culture and everything and love the music. She gets to meet EXO, which is like one of my dreams, definitely. Yeah, and also yeah, she's obviously being like a kid. She's also like a huge like weeb too, or whatever. She like all her Twitter is just like covered in Yuri on Ice and Sailor Moon references. She even has this amazing Sailor Moon inspired she did like an exhibition routine in Japan where she danced, she performed to music of Sailor Moon, and she even dressed up as Sailor Moon and everything. And she has this cool part where she does the transformation sequence and pulls her tights up and everything. So yeah, she's definitely she might, even though she's not Korean or Japanese or whatever, it's pretty, again, it's pretty cool how just like we live in a world where like people just like I guess they find themselves in all of these cool different hobbies, and then she gets to travel the world, and then she gets to show like it's pretty cool to see the reception like in Korea and Japan, like of like how she's honoring their culture and sort of helping to spread it. That's crazy. Like a Russian figure skater is the one that's helping spread the word about K-pop. That's how crazy is that? So,
I think ultimately that's pretty important, is that like as far as K-pop and anime and J-pop and stuff like that goes, it's mostly foreigners are the ones that are spreading it around and stuff. Like it's spreading like a virus, and I think that's definitely evident in the last few years that like it's multiplying, I guess. Like it's
and it goes to show
span.
It's not just Asians or not just Koreans or whatever, that sort of thing. It's a real worldwide sort of thing where somebody in a completely different country, completely different culture is sort of like connects with their music and like all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. And even though she's not American or whatever, she's Russian, if anything. Like I'm definitely rooting for her. I'd like for her to win, because yeah, she definitely seems like she deserves it. She put talk about like she puts in a lot of hard work. I mean, she's still a kid or whatever, so like obviously she's definitely just enjoying herself and that sort of thing. That's the weird thing to like remember. Like a lot of these people are just like 15, 16, 17, like they're really young. Yep. So like all like going to go around the world and that sort of thing, like all this is just like an experience for them. So it's definitely awesome to see that they're just normal kids or whatever. There's just like nothing there other than like being like professional athletes, or like they get to like do all this sort of stuff and go around the world. Yeah, they're just normal kids like you and I, and I'd say at this point she might be one of the most high-profile K-pop fans out there. I don't think you could get more high-profile than like. I
mean, especially if she wins the gold, she'll definitely be.
Yeah. How many people can you say are gold medalists and K-pop fans? Besides, like, I don't know, like UNI or something like that, being an actual Korean. Okay. Speaking of somebody with a last name Kim, the next person on our list is actually an American. By the name of Chloe Kim. So she is getting away from the figure skaters for a second here. She's a half-pipe snowboarder, and she recently, or as of recording. Well, this is gonna go up tomorrow anyway, but as of this week, she won the gold in the women's half pipe. Like she's only 17 years old, and basically she's already.
Oh,
like,
really? I didn't know she was that young.
She's 17, and she's like the best. She's easily the best in the world at least in terms of women when it comes to like snowboard half pipe. She's insane. Not only that, she's definitely the like the definition of like the American dream. Like I see the story about like how her dad or whatever, like her parents came here from Korea. They emigrated here with like only like a couple $100s in their pocket, and they worked hard and they sacrificed a lot because they lived, I think, in like SoCal, and then they drive like hours away to just go to the mountains so that she can practice. Like she's been snowboarding since she was like 5 years old, which is insane. So yeah, and to see her, and it's awesome to see that she like all of it pay off, and especially for her to win. Like she was talking about like how important it was for her to win gold in like the country that her parents originated from, like where like her parents came from. That's insane. Yeah, so it's crazy. Like she's like starting to get popular. There's a video in this playlist or whatever of her. Like she shows up on a video for like the Korean embassy or something like that, where basically she's sort of promoting Korea and that sort of thing. She's actually, according to Wikipedia, I don't know if this is correct, but I believe she's trilingual. She knows English, Korean, and French because I think at like I think she when she was like 9 or 10 or something like that, she moved to like Switzerland or whatever to just like actually like like to snowboard in the Alps and practice and everything, which is insane. Like her dedication is pretty intense for someone that's younger than me, like way younger than me. Yeah, she's like a pretty cool.
This is how much younger she is in years. She's still younger. She's 2 years younger than me. Yeah, and I'm the youngest out of all of us. Like,
yeah, and I think it's cool that like, because I mean, there's Shaun White definitely helped put like snowboarding on the map, but I feel like it's awesome to see that like Chloe Kim is gonna be that for like girls. It's not just like girls in America or whatever. It's pretty cool that like there's probably gonna be girls in Korea that are like, hey, there's this Korean girl, like Korean American girl that's snowboarding, so they're probably gonna pick it up as well. I mean that's ultimately what the Olympics is all about, where you want to inspire the next generation of kids to just pick up the sport or whatever, and that's why they as like flawed and as like all the corruption or whatever, it's still like the nice part about like I guess the ultimate goal of the games is that you want to inspire and like spread like all the sports sort of thing to countries that might not have otherwise been exposed to it. It's good. Like there's like she do interviews in Korean and everything and like all this sort of stuff. So it's cool that she's like a Korean American. An Asian American is like the one that's like at the forefront of like extreme sports or like snowboarding at this point. And again, she's only 17. She's only 17, and she's already pulling off like back-to-back like 1080s and all this sort of stuff. I believe her final run, she scored like a 94 or 95 or something like that. Like basically, how it works in snowboarding is you have 3 runs and like for the medal rounds. By the first run, she already won. Like pretty much, the other 2 runs are ultimately meaningless, but the last one, she's like, screw it, I'm gonna go for it. And the entire time between runs, she was tweeting and everything. Like she's just like she's a Cali girl. She's pretty laid back and that sort of thing. So yeah, she's all, again, like I guess the recurring theme is all these guys are definitely enjoying their time in Korea, because again, it's just like that's the cool part of it. They get to go around all these places that you may never visit like normally or whatever. But yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites, and she's definitely it's like, again, she's an easy or like a shining example of like how the American dream, like it works. Like she literally like she's taking care of her parents and that sort of thing. So it's amazing which she's been able to do at such a young age. Next on the list would be Yeon, who is the going back to figure, like most of this is figure skating, because I feel like that's what Korea is kind of like mostly known for. And it comes to it's always some type of ice like skating sport. I mean, after this I'll get to one non-one after this, but yeah, I feel like most Korean like winter sports are mostly just figure skating, speed skating, I don't know, like that sort of thing. So yeah, Yeon is the Korean national champion. She's not too much about her other than like she's pretty much, I guess, the successor to UNI Kim, where like she's the youngest, I believe, to become Korean national champion. I believe she beat out like UNI by like 2 years or whatever, that she was like 2 years younger than UNI when she became national champion and everything. Like the video I have up right now is her current exhibition routine is to I Am the Best, and then CL reblogged or put it up on her Instagram and everything, like showing her support. She did the same thing with Chloe Kim, actually, when Chloe Kim won, because in an interview with Chloe Kim, in an interview with ESPNW, she's like, oh, I listen to CL and all these sort of other K-pop artists to get me pumped up before she goes out in the half pipe. But yeah, it's pretty cool, like that. Again, we're starting to start. Again, they're reaching that age where all these people that are into K-pop are sort of like they're putting the music in their routines for like figure skating and everything. The next person is actually, yeah, I'd say the most important one, and if anything, like which is Yoon Sung Bin, who is a I don't know exactly what to call someone who does skeleton. A skeleton practitioner, he does skeleton, which is a sliding sport, which is
Skeletoner. I don't know.
Skeletoner. I have no idea, but yeah.
Who knows?
He does skeleton, and he's the first ever, like, Korea until this Olympic Games, Korea had no medals whatsoever in any of the sliding sport disciplines, which would be skeleton, luge, skeleton, which is where you're like, which is when you're on your stomach, luge, which is when you're on your back, and then bobsled, which it's like the sled sort of thing. So yeah, Korea until this Games never had any medals in it at all, gold, silver, or bronze. He's the first he's the first Korean to ever win a medal in it, and it was gold. Like, how insane is that? And no, like, what's insane about it is that until this Olympic Games, until they started like having construction for the Olympic Games, they did not have any sliding facilities in Korea. So he had to go he had to go elsewhere to train. And then basically, once they built it, like, this was his home park, like his home like venue and everything. So he knew all the ins and outs and everything. But basically, he was so confident going in, where like, you usually could have like a certain allotment of like practice runs. You have up to 6 practice runs. You only used 2, and it was like, okay, I don't need any more. I know I'm gonna win this, and he blew the entire competition away. It was just crazy. Like, he's pretty much a national hero because like literally he brought Korea's like first like sliding medal ever, and also he got pretty popular on the internet because he had his sick helmet choice. His helmet basically is supposed to look like Iron Man and everything, so he looks pretty scary as hell when he's going down the ice at like 100 kilometers an hour or whatever. So yeah, he's a pretty cool dude, and like he's definitely gonna be revered as a national hero for like what he did. And he talk about like how hard it is to just try to get people interested again. Like much like with Chloe Kim, it's just like having like Korean like champions or whatever win in sports that like most people would never like even think of. He's gonna inspire an entire generation of Korean kids to just take up the sport and like continue that legacy, which is really cool. And the last people I want to talk about are actually not they're North Korean, not South Korean, but I feel like it's still important to mention them as well. It is the figure skaters of Ryom Taeok and Kim Ju-si. So they are the only North Korean athletes that got to the Olympics by qualification. Because remember, there was the hockey team, which was unified, but they just sort of like added them to the team. They didn't necessarily make it through qualification, and obviously because South Korea automatically qualified, being as they were the host nation. So, but since they didn't do a joint like team when it came to figure skating, this North Korean pair had to qualify their way. So yeah, they like it wasn't some like sort of like political like move or like some type of like empty gesture. They worked their asses to get to this Olympics, and it's incredible to see how they're actually talented and everything. Like if you've ever seen them skate, and I was watching the video, or I was watching live when they did their Paris skate or whatever, and the reception that they got in Korea was incredible. Like they got like people were throwing like the flowers and the plushes at them and everything after their performance, and they were like legit, like they won the crowd over, which is incredible to see. Like all this, that's definitely the nicest part about the Olympics, is where like like if two countries like North Korea and South Korea can put aside all their political tensions and all that sort of thing to like root each other on in competition or appreciate like the hard work that they put in, because I mean I imagine how hard it is like being from North Korea and trying to like I'm sure their Olympic program can only afford so much, or that there's so much that they're limited on when it comes to like media availability or like what they can do, or like I guess how much freedom they have. But it's amazing that they're still able to succeed despite all that, and they definitely deserve to be there. So that I guess that's definitely the awesome part about the Olympics, just seeing all these like these amazing stories, or just all these like normal people that just get to stand out, like even if it's just for like a couple of weeks. It's definitely the best part, and that's why I keep coming back and watching it every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that pretty much covers everything. Yep.
All right, cool. So I guess that covered what Andrew wanted to say about this year's Olympic Games. I guess you could probably expect us to talk about the next Olympics in Tokyo anyways. That's at least somewhat of proximity to what we talk about.
We'll definitely be talking about the closing ceremony.
Yep.
Yeah, that too.
There and
CL and maybe Ailey.
Yep. So. Ailey's confirmed.
Oh, so then definitely that's gonna be amazing.
I'll be looking forward to that for sure.
A Jersey girl is gonna be at the closing ceremonies. How insane is that?
I mean, she has like the most popular OST song in a really long time. So
yeah, definitely. That's definitely an awesome part to see. So yeah, like usually people go in. Like, especially with Rio or whatever, everyone's just like, oh, these Olympics are, like, there's a popular subreddit called Apocalyptics 2016, just, like, listing everything that went wrong with the Olympics that year. But
Rio was garbage.
You know what I mean? But
I think it was even worse in Sochi, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing things about, like, the actual Olympians in their hotel room. Like, some of them would have a switch on their toilet, others would not. Others would have a light bulb, people would not. The other people would have a doorknob.
Yeah, but I mean, Korea. I like no disrespect to Russia and like Brazil, but I mean Korea is definitely more of a higher stature than Russia.
Yeah,
or Korea or Brazil is at this point. Yeah, they did it. I watched the video. They did a good job. Like the budget that they built this entire Olympics on is something like 1/8 of the budget that Russia spent on the Sochi Olympics, and they plan to like reuse or like most of it, or it's mostly like temporary venues or whatever. So they were very frugal about like how the games work, and it seems so successful so far. Like maybe we have a bias or whatever, but nothing seems to be going wrong so far with these Olympics. So it's impressive, definitely. That's the first time I've said that in a long time about an Olympic Games, to be completely honest.
For sure. All right, so I guess from here we can go on to Nate's topic about the unit.
Yep. So yeah, the unit ended last weekend. So I just wanted to talk about it and how it went. Since we talked about Produce 101 and we talked about the unit and Mix 9 like before they started and stuff. So yeah, Jacob watched the first like few like sections.
I think Andrew, I watched up to the like. It's either the first or second elimination.
Yeah.
That I watched up to. So.
Andrew didn't get to watch any of it, but that's fine because he can rest his voice.
I'll just be muted from now on. Okay.
So it's on KBS 2. It's another reality or a survival show. Basically, after Produce 101, everyone decided they needed to do this because it was huge. I think it did fairly well. Yeah, I don't know. It did it averaged 3.1% viewing ratings, which I think KBS2 is cable, so that's not bad for a cable channel. So yeah, I'll just go through the different sections and stuff. It's a very, very reminiscent of Produce 101. Like it's almost exactly the same like sets of missions and what they did and like timing for eliminations.
Just to confirm one thing. From the beginning, both male and female groups were debuting in this, right?
Yes.
It wasn't like Mix 9.
No. So this was like Produce 101, but had guys and girls. Both groups were the top 9 for each were going to debut from the start. But the thing with this is it was similar to Mix 9 where they wanted to take idols that had debuted or that had. Some of them were trainees, but for the most part, they're all in groups. And they wanted to take people from groups that weren't very popular, try to give them like a second chance type thing. So it started out with the just like pretty similar to Produce 101, where all the groups like did a performance together, like as a group, and then they were rated individually. But they didn't take everyone. So like Produce 101, they had 101 people already interviewed, and all those people were on the show. During this, if nobody, so there were 6 mentors. There's Rain, who's the MC for the show. There's Jo Hyuna from Urban Zacapa as a vocalist trainer. There's Hwang Chi-yeol as a vocalist trainer. There's Sunny as a rap trainer. And then for the beginning, it was Taemin from SHINee and Hyuna as dance trainers. They both stopped doing the show after the opening like episode where they voted on people joining it. And then they got I can't remember her name. She's like a pretty famous choreographer. She did UNI's season 2. She was one of their dance trainers and did the choreography. I want to say her name is Ha-young, but I don't remember her last name. And that's a pretty common name, so. But she was doing dance training like throughout the show. But for the opening, it was Taemin and Hyuna. But yeah, so all 6 of them had a vote basically for each of the members, and if any of them voted, that member got to be on the show. So the only way you didn't get on the show is if no one in the panel voted.
Okay, so it's not like where you need like a majority or anything. It's just
no, you just
like
need one. Like yeah, some of them say like one of Good Day, Rain was the only person to vote, so she got in like. And there were very few times where nobody voted. I'm looking, it's like there's maybe like 10 people didn't make it.
Yeah.
And they actually even brought back like 6 of them, I think. So, like even if you didn't get no votes, they brought some people in. So like one of the people who got no votes was Lucky from Good Day, but she was the only one from Good Day. So like I think that's the reason why she was able to come back. Like they let people. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm misreading this chart. There was more than that didn't get any votes. There were a lot of people that didn't get any votes. I'm looking at, there are like 10 people that didn't get any votes, but were still able to join the show. But, yeah, I was going to say, I remember a lot more people being eliminated than this. I'm just misreading the chart on Wikipedia. All this on Wikipedia. But yeah, so and then there was also another way to get on where the audience, there's a group of audience there too watching, and if 90%, I want to say, I think, of the audience voted, they got in regardless of what the mentors said. So there are some people that like really wowed the crowd, like June from U-Kiss, G1 from Spica, Melody Day, IM, Hotshot, Ajax, bring it DSP, NCA, like, so there are a few, only a few people, NCA and Jihan Sol are the only people who got that, so like 6 groups, / solo artists, but yeah, so they did that, then they moved on to, the first mission was just the music video, so really similar to Produce 101 is doing Pick Me, but it's my turn for the unit. But what they did is they split the teams up into groups of 9, and they actually let them choose their groups, which was really interesting because like seeing the dynamics of like the ones that were willing to go talk to people they didn't know, and like the groups that wanted to split up compared to the groups that wanted to stay together. Was pretty interesting. So yeah, they split up into 7 groups.
Were they ever ranked like how they did Produce 101 or?
Yeah, well, yeah. So they were ranked based on how many votes they got.
Okay, so but it wasn't just like A, B, C, D, E, F, or like.
Well, yeah, it was 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so
and
it's the same thing. Okay.
S for the people that got the the vote artist or the audience votes.
Yeah, but they didn't. But they didn't restrict it as in like, okay.
No, they didn't use it nearly as much as Produce 101 did. Like they split them, or like they brought them out that way, but it didn't really mean anything. I don't think it really meant anything. But yeah, so they just split up into 7 groups for the boys, 7 groups for the girls, just to see, because one group from each gender would be like the center team, so like they get more time in the music video, and then the rest are just in the background. Then for the second mission, once again, it's really similar to Produce 101. They each pick a song by like a popular group to do. They weren't debut songs, but so the songs were Rough by G-Friend, Crazy by 4 Minute, Heart Attack by AOA, Red Flavor by Red Velvet, You're the Best by Mamamoo, Give It To Me by Sistar, and G by Girls' Generation for the girls. And for the boys, it was Fire by BTS, Heartbeat by 2PM, Monster by EXO, Juliet by SHINee, Perfect Man by Shinhwa, Boom Boom by 17, and Her by Block B. So they like obviously tried to pick different like styles so that the people that were more comfortable with a certain style could go to them. And then I think they each got to pick a song, and if there were more than 9 people in the group, I think they just decided as a group who was who wanted to leave, and like they could leave, and then they kind of just like, well, we don't really want, like, yeah, I think they just did like majority vote to kick people out.
So from the get-go, this sounds like there's a lot less Mnet bullshit than there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep. This is like Produce 101, but it's a lot less.
But good, but actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of like evil editing or anything.
No, yeah.
Like there was occasionally a conflict, but it always showed a resolution after the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So not like Produce 101, where they're just they just forget about storylines altogether.
No, yeah. So then after that, they did a elimination, like I said, the same as Produce 101. After the first, so they do the music video, then they do a mission. Elimination, live final episode where they announced the top 9 or whatever. So yeah, they did elimination after that. Then they did self-producing mission. So it's kind of similar to Produce, because it was split into like the like skill sets. But what it was 2 different teams were there were 2 teams for vocals, 2 teams for rap, 2 teams for performance, and they each picked their own songs and had to do all of their own, like, they had to self-produce it, so, like, they had to do their own arrangements, and, like, figure out their own, like, stage outfits and stuff like that. So the vocals for the boys, did Miracles in December and You Are by Taeyeon. Which was interesting. One of the guy groups did You Are. For the rap and vocal groups did Who's Your Mama by JYP and Blood, Sweat and Tears by BTS. And then the performance units, one of them did Stay by Zed and Alicia Cara, with Chained Up by VIX. So they did like a mashup, or not a mashup, but I think they did them back to back. Like, it wasn't a mashup.
That's cool. I don't think I ever remember any type of like idol show or whatever where they do a mashup like that.
Well, no, it wasn't a mashup. That's why I said I used the wrong word.
It's like a medley.
It was, yeah, like they did Stay as the main song, but then for the dance break they did Chained Up, I think, if I remember correctly. And then for the other team, they did Manners Maketh the Man from Kingsman as the intro leading into That's What I Like by Bruno Mars.
That is great. I love how popular Kingsman is in Korea.
Oh yeah, they loved it.
Why?
Here it's not that huge.
Is it just because like it's gratuitous like violence or whatever?
Probably. I don't know. It is really popular though.
I guess kind of like how Kill Bill is like ridiculously popular everywhere, or like in Asia, I guess.
Yeah. And then for the girls, for the vocal units, one group did Jackpot by Block B and the La Song by Rain. And then the other group did Last Dance by Big Bang. So that, like, I thought that was funny that one of the girl groups did Big Bang and one of the guy groups did Taeyeon, which is pretty funny.
I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense. It'd be like what they're like a fan of, because girls tend to be a fan of guy groups, and some male artists, whereas like guys tend to be fans of like female idols.
Yeah, I mean, girls singing Last Dance by Big Bang isn't nearly as surprising as a group of guys deciding to sing You Are by Taeyeon.
Yeah, I guess it's just more surprising.
So
it's probably just more surprising to see it coming from a show where they're just like, oh, they're letting them sing a female like singer, like vocal song.
Oh, they get to pick their own stuff, so. And then the performance girl group did Problem by Ariana Grande and Partition and Run the World by Beyonce. And then the rap vocal units, one of the girl... oh, wait, no. Am I reading this wrong? Wait, what? That's Unit B, Unit G, Unit... Oh, I messed up. This is like weirdly... This table is really weirdly formatted. It's formatted by episode. That's what threw me off. So it's alternating guy, girl, guy, girl. So the girl group's performance, or rap vocal girl group did Who's Your Mama and Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh. So the girl group did that.
Yes. That's what, when I read that, I was like, that doesn't seem right. I'm pretty sure the girls did that. So then the rap vocal unit for the guys did Butterfly by BTS and Bermuda Triangle and Red Sun, both by Zico.
Really good choices.
Yep. So then they did for that, the winning teams were Team Yellow on the guy groups, which was okay. Oh yeah, the Team Yellow, the vocal team that did Miracles in December. Or no, You Are. Yeah, okay. You Are one for the guys. And the rap vocal girl group, or Team Orange, that did... which one was that? That did Who's Your Mama one. I think they got, like, extra votes. Or they might have been saved from elimination, even.
They were in the first round, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think they were in the second round, too. But I don't think anyone... I remember in the first round there was someone who was... I don't think that actually happened in the second round. I don't think anyone was actually saved by winning. So then the fourth mission, they did exactly the same as Produce 101. They gave them 5 new songs that they had to perform. 5 for the guys, 5 for the girls. And then they did the live finale last weekend, where guys and girls each had 2 songs. So they split into 2 teams to do these songs. They performed them live on the show, and then they did the real-time voting as well as the voting online, and announced the top. So here, I guess I'll read the people who won, and then go over just like specific people and some weird things that happened that threw me off. Let me get my list of people.
Oh wait, just a quick question. Did they do that thing where, like in Produce 101, where they announced like the person that's in like 12
yeah. Well, so like you mean at the beginning of the show they show like the people who were like
on the bubble or whatever? Like
yeah, they did.
Oh my god.
They showed 4 people. They're like, these are the people that are candidates for 9th place. But see, the thing is, there was even like more BS because they showed people like for the girls they showed Encia, and there's no way she was ever a candidate for 4th place.
What?
She was 4th and 3rd the entire show. Like
so she was like 4. What?
No, she wasn't even 9th. I think they just said like they were candidates, so like they might be, but it was total bullshit. I think they just showed 4 random people, like to be completely honest. With one of them might have been 9th place. But so for the guys, June from UKIS got 1st, which wasn't really surprising. He was in 1st and 2nd the whole time. Weijin from Big Flow, which is still the worst name ever of a group, got 2nd.
Weijin or Big Flow?
Weijin. Big Flow. Big Flow is a horrible group name. Weijin's fine name, like, it's a Korean name. I can't comment on how weird it is. But so he was like low. He was like 16th, 17th in the first few like eliminations. Then he jumped to ninth. Then he jumped to fourth. Then he jumped to second and was like second and first. So it was pretty obvious he was making it.
I could tell that he was gonna get in. Like even where I was, where he was like lower, I could tell he was because he got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, yeah.
Go Ho Jung from Hot Shot made it. He was in the top 9 the whole show. Field Dog from Big Star was in the top 9 the whole show.
Our best friend Field Dog.
I actually really like him after watching that show.
Yeah, no,
he's a really good dancer and he's like a really nice guy.
Yeah, I don't think we ever shit on him for
really
his,
humble.
His
no, we just thought he had a dumb name.
Yeah, he has
and he does have a dumb name. Like that is a really dumb stage name, but it's not his fault. Marco from HBY made it. So he was like 12th to 19th throughout the whole show, and then got to 5th for the finale. He got a lot of screen time though, so he was actually lower in the rankings than I thought. He surprisingly was lower than I thought. And he jumped up for the finale. Jihan Sol, who used to be SM rookie, he isn't anymore though. I'm pretty sure. He's not in a group. He was high early, dropped, and then got back up for the finale. He got 6th. Daewon from Madtown got 7th. He was in the top 9 for most of the show. Kijun from IM was in the top 9 for most of the show. He got 8th. And then Chan from Ace, who just came out of nowhere because he was like in the 20s and the upper teens the whole time, and then got 9th right at the end. So something I'll just go over the guys, but for both the guys and the girls, I was talking to Cooper, who also watched the show, one of our friends, and we both think a lot of people voted in the finale that didn't vote throughout the show, because there were some really big changes. Timoteo, who had a ton of screen time, he was first at the whole beginning of the show, didn't make it. He got 10th. J-Up was up there for a while. He didn't make it. Donghyun from Boyfriend was second and third most of the show. He didn't make it. So some of the really high ranked people that were shoo-ins didn't make it.
I think it was because people were watching but not voting, and then they were
the finale they voted for their member.
This person's going to make it for sure. So let's vote for this guy who might not make it.
Yeah,
and then everybody.
That happens a lot of times where basically you're just you think somebody's safe, but then somebody that gets spirit bombed basically into top 9 just and then they don't make it. And that happens a lot. Surprisingly, not surprisingly.
I mean, it just came out more than we expected, just because there weren't too many shakeups throughout the entire show, I guess
it wasn't volatile. Boys or girls or
no, neither of them were very volatile. There were a couple come out of nowhere, stories which we'll get to, especially for the girls. Like I said, Chan from Ace, he was come from nowhere to get into the top 9. He got 9th, and Marco jumped 11 to make it, but I think one of the reasons is because it was just had much less viewers. The voting could change a lot easier. Because the top people had 100,000, 200,000 votes. So I think it was a little bit easier for that to happen. But yeah, there was definitely some surprises to me. Cooper said, one because an Ace member made it, and we already lost 2 members of Ace to Mix 9, so that group's doesn't have members right now.
They're fucked.
Yeah, I think the Mix 9 members are allowed to promote under as Ace while because also their group's only an 8-month thing, so who knows.
But the unit, on the other hand, I know.
Yeah, the unit.
It's longer,
I don't
right?
think they're allowed to, and I think it's longer. So he's not. He's screwed. But I mean, he's going to be in a pretty popular group, so that's fine. The one thing with the guy groups though is they forgot to give them vocalists. They have 1 vocalist.
Oh no!
They got all the performance guys made it. And rappers.
Well, I mean, remember we kind of learned that lesson in Produce 101 where it's the guys is definitely more visual.
Yep,
sort of thing. They don't gotta have the voice of God or whatever. They just gotta look good, basically.
Yeah, the girl group's way more even. A lot more balanced. So we'll get there. Legion from Sonamu got first. She was first, like, pretty much the whole show, so that wasn't a surprise. Yeon from Dai got second. She was second, third the whole show. Ensia got third. She was second, third the whole show. Yoonjo who used to be in Hello Venus before they split, so like old school Hello Venus when they were a project group. She jumped up, so like she was in the top 9 for episodes 8 and 10, so like halfway through for the second or third eliminations, but she was like 13th, 12th, so she was pretty low.
Yeah,
I mean, not like super low, but she was 5 down from the top 9, and she jumped up at the end, so that was surprising. Lee Hyunju who used to be in April, she was top 9 the whole time. She got 5th. Young Jiwon from Spica, she got 6th. So she actually dropped a bit. She was first for the whole beginning of the show. Then she dropped to like 5th and 4th. And then right before the finale, she dropped to 8th. So like it was kind of scary. We didn't think she might like keep dropping. But she got back up to 6th. And she definitely deserved to be there. Woohee from Dalshabat made it. She was like tiptoeing the line. So that was a question. Then the worst possible thing that could ever happen happened.
Or who knows, maybe the best possible thing.
And Zien from Laboom made it when she was not in the top 9 the entire show. And then she got 8th, and my heart broke.
Yeah, so
Laboom,
she's one of the people that got spirit bombed, basically.
I mean, not really, because she was growing the whole time. Like, she was 11th before the finale, so she was only 2 below. Like, she started 17th and then just kept gaining popularity, which got her to the end. And then the real heartbreak happened, where Lee Suji made it at 9th. And then talked about how she wanted to be up there with UNI in her speech, and it was really sad because the arc.
Where did she end up?
Jacob wanted to be able to watch that.
Where did Yuna Kim?
What, UNI? UNI ended up 10th.
What the freak?
UNI was in the top 9 like the whole show too,
that
which was the thing that threw
so much.
She was like 3rd, 4th,
top 10
5th.
anime betrayals. Holy
yeah,
shit!
Can we trade Zien for Yuna?
I would have been fine with that. I would have traded Zien with anyone.
Stay in Laboom.
I would have traded Zien for Somi. I would have traded Zien for Yuna Kim. Like, I would have traded Zien for Semi. So here's the thing. Here's the other horrible thing that happened. So Semi is a girl from Matilda. Matilda is a group that no one really had heard of. Like, I'd heard their name, but I didn't know them at all. They're just one of those like unknown girl groups. She was like 50th, and she jumped to 29th. Then she jumped to 9th, and then by the end she was 2nd, and then she didn't make it.
Like, was somebody like vote manipulating or something? Or
No.
What do you think happened?
She made some really amazing performances. She deserved it. Like, she got a lot of spotlight, and like so she got up there. She got up into the group. She was 2nd before the finale, and then she got 13th, which is where we're really sure like that people were not that didn't watch the show or like and didn't vote throughout the whole show, just voted right at the end because she got knocked down so far.
So,
and like she was a shoo-in.
So do you think that where they showed those people that were candidates for 9th place, do you think that really hurt her?
No, because I don't think most of them even made it. I don't remember who they showed, but that wasn't like a Chungha situation where they showed Chungha and then she jumped up to 4th. I think it was just people weren't voting throughout the show, and the people that didn't vote throughout the show voted in the finale, and they didn't know who she was because they didn't really watch the show. They were just voting for their favorite girl group member. And so she got knocked down. If you look at it, like, all of the top 9 are, like, popular girl group. Or, like, they're not popular girl groups, but they're the most popular of the groups.
Like, there's not exactly. Too many people that
Sonamu is known, Daya is known. Like, NCO was the huge surprise, and I was so happy because I've been following her since debut. And, like, she definitely is one of the better vocalists out there, solo vocalists for females out there, but she's just completely unknown. And people recognized her right away as being incredibly talented, and she got 3rd. So she was one of the few that like really benefited from this, I think. But yeah, Yoonjo, like Hello Venus is fairly known. April people know about. Spica people knew about. Dalshabat people know about. Laboon people know about. Lee Suji and NCR are like the only two, and like people kind of could probably know about Suji because of like
Idolmaster and the Arc.
Idolmaster and the Arc, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Unikim not making it was really surprising. Semi not making it was really surprising, and Yoonjo jumping up there.
That just makes me sad. Like that like we were
it was like really sad, and
we were just ramping
her
up
finale.
It's like the Arc reunion all over, but nope.
Like her speech when she got 9th, like, was really heartbreaking. I mean, I didn't even know Yuna got 10th. I just saw it on the chart here because they didn't actually say.
It's kind of like
the
how
rankings for the people that didn't make it.
When like Hwang Min-yeon made it into like 101, he was just like, there's none of my other like bandmates are here. Like he felt alone, he felt kind of bad that he was just leaving them behind basically. So it's kind of the same thing with Suji, where she. Like I'm sure it was sort of calculated that okay, we both want to go through this, or like that sort of thing, and they definitely had high hopes.
Yeah.
But, oh man, that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and yeah, Yuna dropping out like the last minute too. Like I thought Suji wasn't gonna make it because Suji was 9th and like 10th and like right on the line the whole time. Yuna was like 3rd and 5th. Like I thought she was a shoo-in, and Suji was the one who wasn't gonna make it. So that was like a reversal that I didn't see coming. But yeah, I honestly would have rather had them either both not make it or both make it. Like I kind of would rather Suji have not made it than make it, because that's just like even more heartbreaking.
But I mean, like, do you think like I feel like it, even if it didn't necessarily work out with the final group, like, do you think it's to the point where they've sort of like got enough recognition that not saying that you're ever gonna get an Arc reunion or whatever, but I mean it still benefited both of them.
This isn't gonna be like all these groups are gonna become Red Velvet level, but like people, they definitely all gained like recognition from this show. And yeah, I'm really excited for the groups, like especially the girl group. I've followed all of these groups since like debut or like pretty close to it, so like.
Definitely.
Like, I love Hello Venus. Followed them since debut. Spica followed early on. Delshabit, Laboom. Like, so like I was really hoping that this would be this type of lineup that made it to the end, and I wasn't disappointed. So I think this is gonna be a really, really strong girl group, and I think they're really well rounded too. So like Legion's really good at dancing. Yebin and NCR are really good at singing. Like. Jiwon's really good at singing. Woohee's really good at dancing. Xion's really good at dancing. Like they're pretty well rounded. I don't know if they really have a rapper though, but they don't really need one.
But I mean, I'm on the other hand, I don't think I'm as sold on the guy group yet. I mean,
know. they're less known quantities.
Yeah,
but
that's probably
the people that made it are like I clearly have a bias to the girl groups. Like I didn't pay attention to the guy groups nearly as much, but the people that made it definitely deserve to make it. I definitely would have given them a couple of vocalists over some people, but like June, Ejin, Field Dog definitely deserved it. I like Heejun. He's their only vocalist, although it kind of sucks because he's really young, and like through the show his voice was changing, and so he lost his like his like high voice that everyone like knew him for. So, but he's still a good singer. But yeah, he's gonna have to hard carry this group because he's the only vocalist.
Oh god, or else it's just gonna be like a dance group or a rapper.
Oh yeah, it's basically like almost all dancers and rappers. They forgot to give them vocalists. Like J-Up and Rock Young probably should have made it because they're the other like vocalists in the top 18 that made it to the finals, and they did not make it in the end. But yeah. It was good. I would definitely go watch the performances. There's some really good performances in there. If you have the time to spare, watch the whole show. It was a good show. Yeah.
It's definitely more appealing when you said there's no Mnet bullshit. So that's literally all I need.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot more like wholesome, I would say. Like, I mean, there's still like some. I mean, it's a survival show, so there's gonna be some bullshit, but like it's not. There was, like Jacob said, when there were when there were conflicts, they were usually resolved and that type of stuff. So
Yeah. Like, what the heck was her name? Who's the girl who is a little more like masculine? She had
oh yeah,
voice?
you're talking about her and Hyunju.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I
always forget.
Let me
her
look
name.
at the list of people because I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But yeah, they're
her and Hyunju had a like conflict, even though they were both trying to like help each other, and they ended up just,
because they're friends from school.
Yeah.
So they're like more comfortable with each other, and they were like having some conflict, but they
But the group
they
leader
made
they
up.
had with them made them talk it out at least.
Yeah. And they made up Hyosun. From
Hyosun, that was her
HUB.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There
there was another one that actually got me though, because it was a stupid hidden camera, but I almost can always see those coming from a mile away. But this one like totally got me. I thought they were actually fighting. I can't remember who it was with, but like one of the
is that
teams.
the one that it was the birthday?
Yeah, it was their birthday.
Yeah.
It was
It was Yuna, I think, wasn't it?
It was Yuna, but who was the person arguing? It was one of the girls from. It's like one of the bigger groups, like a group I've known about. Let me look up the list. But yeah, she like just. Oh yeah, it was Nari from What's Up. That's right. She was the one that was like causing a bunch of problems.
So they pretended like in.
But it was Yuna's birthday.
Yeah,
so they were
I've seen that
doing
before.
the hidden camera is what they're called.
Yeah, they did
But
the
they,
same
like,
thing when Brodus. I remember.
They
but
usually doesn't get me, but that got me. I thought they were actually fighting.
they worked you into a shoot, brother.
Yep. But yeah, it was good. So watch it. I think it's a good place to wrap. Jacob, you have any more comments since you watched some of it?
Yeah, I guess I really liked what I saw of it. I definitely would like to watch the rest eventually. I just am getting really busy with college and stuff like that. So
Save it for like spring break or
summer
something.
Yeah, spring break, summer, something like that.
And there is one more episode that came out this weekend, just as like I think it's
recap.
Oh, I think it's the groups went to like a fan meet or something.
Okay,
and then
cool.
there'll probably be a recap included and stuff.
Yeah, I think
so I'll watch that too.
I have a break next week, so I think what I'm gonna do is just this week actually, this on Wednesday through the weekend or whatever, going home. So I'll probably watch the performances and stuff at least, because the ones I saw I really liked from the first elimination. So yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna follow Matilda because I fell in love with Semi.
Yeah, like I was
She
really
did make
worried about the unit personally, but I think they handled it well, and it was of a similar quality to Produce 101.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I definitely enjoyed it.
It's interesting to see. Like it seems like the unit did very well. Stray Kids did amazingly well. Mix 9. Yeah.
Well, we knew Stray Kids would do well because it's straight up like it was 16 again, but this time they were like, we're not even gonna try to hide the fact that we're not gonna eliminate anyone. We're just gonna have 9 people in the show, and the max group can be 9 people. It's like, well, so everyone's gonna make it. You're just basically making them have a survival show for no reason, just to promote the group.
Yep.
But it worked because that group did put out some amazing music for that show.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on. Topic 3.
Topic 3. So recently, the founder of DSP actually passed away.
Yep.
It was last week or the week before?
It was last week, or or no, it was this week. It was the 13th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason
Monday.
it felt like it was longer
Tuesday.
ago.
Yeah, it's just because it was the beginning of the week. But yeah, so Cooper suggested this, our friend, like we talked about earlier, just because we need a 4th topic, and I think this will be a much shorter topic. But basically, he was the founder of DSP. If you don't, DSP's cards company, April, Ajax, Kara, Rainbow, back in the day, they've disbanded, and even further back. So if you don't know I think this is gonna be more of like a DSP history type thing than anything. But yeah, this guy started the company. He'd been having health issues since like 2009, I want to say, which is when he stepped down. From like being the head of DSP. So there's like a clear delineation too from like when he stepped down and like DSP's decline. So like the first group he didn't produce was Rainbow, and like Rainbow is a great group, but they didn't have that popularity. and then like going on April and Card
Ajax.
coming back,
Or was
but like
Ajax before
Ajax was
Rainbow?
after.
Okay.
So like you can see there's a clear delineation from like his, because before Kara, like it was like before YG existed, and it was DSP and SM were the two, like in the 90s they were the two big, they were the big two, like
Yep.
DSP was huge, so like
because they had like
they had Finkel and Sex Keys. So he passed away on the 14th at 64. And yeah, like I said, he had been having issues since like 2009 or something, when he stepped down. I can't remember exactly when. But he started DSP in 1991. It rebranded a bunch of different times with different names. But he like created Sobangcha, Sex Keys, Finkel, SS501. Fire Truck was their first group.
So for those that don't know, Sobangcha made Last Night's Story, which is the song that IU did a cover of for her most recent album.
Yep. Jam, which the Card did a cover of, which is a co-ed group. Sex Keys, Finkel, SS501, and Kara was his last group that he produced. And so like Sex Keys and Finkel were, like I said, they were the rivals to Hot and SES.
Yeah, basically,
SM.
they ruled the world at one point.
Like they were huge, and DSP was huge.
Yeah, like Finkel was huge.
Like,
they were Tony Hawk.
And also, if I recall correctly from like what I've read, at least, is like they were actually like comparable to SM. Where actually nowadays with the big
100%.
three, SM is like clearly bigger than the
other.
two.
Like they were like equal. Because SM was just starting, then like SES was their first group.
Yep. First girl group.
First girl group, Hot. And but from what I've read, like he scouted Lee Yordi on the streets. Like he just had an eye for talent.
Like personally.
Personally, so like okay, there's gonna be like there might be some controversy to this, because based on what I've heard, he treated Sex Keys like really badly. So like. There's probably some controversy, but I don't want to like just like shit all over his name when he passed away recently, and I don't really know all the details. I've just heard stories that he like worked their asses off, even when they like he would tell them their sales were way worse than they were, to get them to like work way harder and like do like shitty gigs just so they could make more money, even though they were making tons of money. So like I've heard some bad stuff about him too, but he definitely had an eye for talent. Like he was the one who added Hara and Yeon to Kara when I could never remember her name, when the one girl left.
When the one that's how
one girl from Kara.
That's how like little influence. I'm sorry, but
I thought it was Seung-hee, but I didn't want to say it without confirming it. But yeah, so like he definitely had an eye for talent. And DSP was huge, and like I said, there's like a clear delineation. Like after he stepped down, you get Ajax, you get Rainbow, you get April, which like clearly not done nearly as well as Kara and the 90s groups did. And yeah, like he helped push. I mean, I think he helped push K-pop into Japan. Like Boa was the only one who
definitely did.
Like Boa was the only person who made it in Japan until Kara.
Well, like think about it this way: like SNSD is huge in Japan, but I'm pretty sure Kara sold more than.
No, yeah, Kara definitely did.
There's some people that don't. There's some people like I've talked to like some like my Japanese coworker. He knows who Kara is. Like he might not necessarily know who Soshi is, but he doesn't know
Shojoji Dai.
Yeah.
But and I mean Kara went there first too. Like Kara went there when they were doing Jumping and Lupin and Mister. Like that was before Mr. Taxi happened. And yeah, they definitely paved the way for girl groups in Japan. I think if Kara didn't exist, I don't think girl groups would be nearly as big. Like, I don't think Twice would be as big as they are right now. Definitely I don't think SNSD would have been done as well.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think it would be such a mainstream thing that K-pop girl groups always go to Japan and do stuff in Japan. Because every girl group does that now. And Kara was like the first one to do it successfully.
Yeah,
like I said, before that, it was just Boa. Like, she was the only one who ever had success in Japan from Korea.
Yeah.
He definitely paved the way when it comes to like all these groups that he had some type of hand in creating. That, like, again, even though DSP has sort of fallen off since then, but a lot of these groups are just timeless, or just like they're considered like they're considered some of the best in history, and like that's crazy just to see how much one man had an influence on that, and like not too many people know who outside of April or maybe like Card, not too many people know what I guess the legacy that
how
DSP
big
had.
DSP was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara watches over me every episode.
Yes, they do.
So I think we just want to talk a little bit about that. And if you are newer to K-pop, definitely go back, check out Kara and DSP's older groups, Rainbow and Kara especially. They were amazing groups. Kara definitely was big and deserving of their talent. Rainbow is definitely underrated. Rainbow has some amazing music. And they disbanded before getting the recognition they deserved, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I think we're good. If you guys want anything else you guys wanted to say?
No, I think definitely how he was as a person or not, his legacy is definitely important.
Exactly. That's what
K-pop industry and stuff like that. Again, Kara, one of my first girl groups that I ever listened to, and honestly, they were huge in me getting into K-pop originally, like way back when. Same with Rainbow with Rainbow's
lifting up their shirts.
that was definitely something. Even now to today with Card is one of our favorite groups, and they've quickly become one of my favorite groups like ever. I really enjoy where DSP is going now, so I hope they can pick up
bounce
the pace
back
from here.
Yeah, like Kara's number 2 group of all time for me, and always will be after SNSD. They're after SNSD, like they were the second group I really got into, and I think they'll always be that way because they have some of the best music in K-pop, in my opinion. Actually, and that's true. Like he also like found Sweet Tune, and like Kara and Sweet Tune, that's like that was their producer, and he does all of their amazing music. And he's like one of the best producers out there. So,
yep.
Okay, we want to move on to topic 4.
Yep. So topic 4. This one will also be kind of quick, I think. I guess it was put out recently that BlackPink's going to be coming out with an album, no release date.
Yeah,
and
we'll believe it when we see it.
Yeah, exactly. Just because we've had some comments about YG in the past. I kind of want to speculate as to the content of the actual album that BlackPink is going to put out.
Mm-hmm.
And anything we say here is in no way bad-mouthing BlackPink. It's more of the company if we say anything negative, because we actually really like BlackPink as a group.
Oh, we love BlackPink. Yep. Yeah, this might be for me at least. This is gonna be part 2 of the YG rant.
But yeah, so, I just linked this. I just linked something in the group chat. If you guys open it, basically it's where all these rumors sort of originated from was something on the YG Instagram, I believe. It's from YG. So the translation reads, it was posted to all K-pop's forums, but according to this person, the translations where's the it's just basically talking about how like they only had like 5 songs or whatever, or they've practiced for years, only had 5 songs, and like I don't know, just basically saying that they are confirming that they treated them kind of like crap, basically, or that they and that they're preparing for the new albums. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird for like a label to confirm they're working on new music on Instagram as opposed to just like it being
replying to a that's
replying
the
to
one.
a comment. Yeah, this is pretty unusual.
So like but yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely they're definitely working on something. Obviously, they're working on something. When it comes out is another question, because we all know how long.
Yeah, basically, like YG. I think YG's a big fan of like, I don't know, like quantum physics or whatever, because basically everything works on everything. Like time is such a completely different concept to anyone under the YG label proper. It's like 1 year turns into 3 years, turns into God knows how many years.
Yeah, so, CL just talked about her US album again recently this week.
That still exists.
So we'll see if that happens, or if that was just maybe she just has a yearly update that doesn't amount to anything.
Like, yeah, it still
I stopped
exists.
holding my
yeah,
breath.
it still exists.
I'm
and
sorry.
Next year around the same time, we'll get, oh yeah, we're still working on it. This will exist. So, like, yeah.
Oh,
But no, okay. Back to BlackPink. Like, I don't want to turn this into a YG rant again, but they're definitely working on something. When it comes out is another question. But I mean, the real question is how much new music does it have?
Yep, exactly.
Like I said during that YG rant, like, I would not be surprised if this mini album contained the 5 songs from the 2 singles or the 3 singles,
and we get no new music.
Or we would get one. We would have to get one. Obviously, we would have a title track. But I don't think this is really gonna happen. But it wouldn't surprise me if it did. If that makes sense. Like
if we get if they say like, oh, we're coming out with a full album, and then it's the 5 songs we already have plus only like 5
one
new
or
songs.
2. Oh, you're saying a full album? Yeah, 5 and 5.
Yeah, or like with
so
the mini album,
like what
it's
Card
got
did.
the same songs with like 2 more.
Yeah, like what Card did, where it had the 3 pre-release singles, and then 3 new songs. But we expected that one.
Yeah, but that was
Card had been around for what, like
2
9
years.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. That was in 6 months. They put those songs and released another mini album within a year.
Yeah.
So but that's why they were allowed to do it, and we were fine with it. But if YG's releases, if they announce a BlackPink album and it's the 5 songs we already have heard and a new song, or if it's a full album and it's those 5 songs and like 4 new songs and a remix of one of the old songs, it's just like, it's gonna be so unacceptable.
Not even joking, there will be a remix on there, because there's been a remix on every goddamn YG girl group album.
I think the only way I would not be upset is if it was entirely new music. Like, it could have a remix, but if it doesn't have those 5 songs on it, I think I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Like, if it's
as
a mini album,
at least a mini album, it doesn't have any rehash.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a mini album with like 5 new songs, I'll be happy. Like, I can't really expect any more from YG at this point. Like, expecting more is just, I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's
so,
asking for disappointment at this point.
Exactly. So, like, but if those 5 songs are anywhere near this release, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
I think, like, basically, I feel like they have a window of opportunity here where, well, 1, they're BlackPink, they're pretty popular, but 2,
they're huge.
But 2, like, friggin' Teddy's been on fire as of late when it comes to, like, releasing songs for...
Yeah, that's so true. Teddy's releasing mega hits for someone not even under YG.
Under YG
for
in Sunmi. Yeah, and I'm just like, hello, YG, you're literally sitting on a gold mine here. Like, what are you waiting for, dude? Like, there's a reason why you have this guy
he doesn't like money.
But the problem is, you know that Teddy's just going to go back to the tried and true, like, to anyone sound for them. He's not going to give them something.
Yeah.
He's not going to give them what Sunmi's getting.
Yeah, and maybe that's not his fault.
Maybe it's not. No, I don't think it's his. I don't think it's his fault at all.
Yeah, because it's probably because
probably
the reason why he's probably writing for Sunmi is like, please, I don't want to stay in this goddamn dungeon anymore. Let me go. Like, when you first hear like Gashina or like any of other songs he's wrote for other artists, and it's just like, wait a second, this is Teddy? This is the same guy that
exactly.
just like like, that's the thing. I feels like Teddy under YG versus Teddy under anyone, like, for other companies are almost completely 2 different people, because I feel like, yeah, YG's the one coming down like on him and being like, I need it to sound like this, I need it to sound like this, these are how my groups sound. Like, I know you're a good producer, but this is how we do it at YG, and I feel like that's holding them back ultimately. Like, it's to the point. Yeah, I know everyone's just like, oh, it's a Teddy song or whatever, but like, it feels like, damn, let him loose for once in his life. If he's been doing this for how many years?
Yeah,
you can only write the same.
Gashina's a Teddy song too. It doesn't sound anything like all of his other songs.
Imagine if like, I know he'd be just like repeating, but imagine if BlackPink got a song and it was anywhere near as like charismatic as Gashina was. You know how insane that'd be?
Yeah, oh, for real. Like if they can get these like more like modernized like EDM tones that they've been getting, Sunmi's been getting from Teddy, I think they definitely have a hit on their hands. And also would
Yeah.
it would help them set themselves apart from, I guess, the legacy of 21. Like, I think they should go back more towards like what they had with Playing with Fire, because I think that's the closest thing they've had to having like their own sound.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. And I think like I think regardless of what type of song they get, it's gonna be a hit. Like, BlackPink's huge, YG groups are huge. Like, BlackPink can rival Red Velvet and Twice, even with only 5 songs in 2 years or whatever. Like, they're still on top. Like, people, just their name and their company alone, even though YG's like on the downturn, this group still has that power.
For sure.
So, like, regardless of what they put out, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a hit. It's just,
honestly, it's just YG. I don't think he realizes how much money he could making if he could be making.
If he could modernize his
here's
his
the
practices.
thing, like, every time BlackPink comes out with something, it's about just as big as every Twice music video.
Yeah, exactly.
If he released the same amount of, I guess,
well,
like,
I don't know about Twice
quantity,
music videos, but
Well,
Red Velvet
like,
music videos.
Well, no, I think, I don't know. Either way,
I'm checking Playing with Fire.
Like, they're pretty. They get pretty damn high.
They're,
like,
yeah. Oh no, yeah,
like,
okay. I lied. You're right. Playing with Fire is almost at 200 million. I didn't realize
so, like,
it was that high.
if they had continued like releasing music at the same schedule that JYP had with Twice, they'd be just as big or bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's honestly kind of, it feels like a waste.
Have they even sniffed a solo tour yet? Like,
nope.
No, they haven't done any concerts. Yeah, they don't have. What are they gonna do? They're gonna do 5 songs over and over again.
How can a group be around for 2 years and not have a concert?
I mean, they probably had fan meets, but they haven't.
I'm sorry,
had, like,
that doesn't count. Like, seriously, like, what are you doing with it?
We got Twice Land 2 announced today. Like,
what the hell?
They're getting their second arena tour.
They're groups
going.
from like freaking smaller.
Well, not arena tour.
They're groups that are from smaller like labels that are doing world tours already.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher, Card are doing world tours over here. BlackPink's put out 5 songs in 2 years. Dreamcatcher's been around. Dreamcatcher has more music and has been around for 1 year and is doing a world tour. Like,
yeah, like, no, like the span, like, Dreamcatcher was a completely different group, had a chance to reboot and release more music in the same span.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the reboot of Dreamcatcher, not even counting Minx, like, Minx had a BlackPink level of music. Minx had one single and a mini album in like a year and a half, and then Dreamcatcher comes out, they reboot them, they give them 2 singles and a mini album in like 6 months,
already bigger,
and they're huge. They've gotten a world tour. They've been to Europe and South America. They haven't been to US yet.
Yeah,
it doesn't count as a world tour unless you come here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, either way, like, I'm really hopeful for it. I think we could get something that's really good. It's just like, we have to be banking on YG, unfortunately, is all.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a hit. It's just, will it be more of the same, or we just get 2NE1 sound? And like, it's good and it's a hit, but it's boring.
It's just, what I'm saying is, like, they're just wasted. They're wasted potential.
Yeah, they're wasted.
Like,
they're 100%. They're wasted talent. And then they're doing the stupid thing with Rose where they're making her sing like Bomb. They're ruining her voice. They're making her be super nasally when it's not even her normal singing voice. Like, if you go listen to her on GD's album in 2012, she doesn't sing like that. She sings amazingly, and then you're making her do this stupid nasally sound that's gonna ruin her voice, just like it did for Bomb. Like, why YG? Why?
Oh. History is bound to repeat itself, unfortunately. And
until the company keeps losing money.
Yeah, basically, it's just ultimately YG has to answer to shareholders, like we talked about last week. So someone's
and shareholders are also, they're so problematic as well. That's even another topic. Like, they don't understand how the actual like process works. Like, like, there was a guy from Apple who talked at our college, and he was like, you know, like, some of the things that we do, like, we'll just ignore shareholders, get a good product out, and then make them happy from that.
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
Like,
if you do what they want, it's just dumb.
Like, having a lot of this doesn't mean you have a lot of this. To be completely honest, like that, it's not that hard. I mean, I say that as I sit here dead broke, but still, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to be a billionaire, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so, I'd say just as a general sort of thing, I think I'm at this point I'm too burned that I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it no matter what. Like at this point, it's going to take a lot to blow me away, and not just with BlackPink, but like anything with YG at this point. It's gonna, you really need to blow me away, like blow me out of my pants, basically, just to garner any sort of positive reaction out of me, just because I'm too burned. Like it's such a love-hate relationship.
Like I'll guarantee I'll give it a positive reaction. I'll like it. But will I be championing it in the streets will depend on if they let Teddy do something new, if they let them do something new, what it sounds like, how much music there is. That all depends on YG.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's probably worse, I guess. It's just that, like, I'd rather have a strong... I say this about a lot of things. I'd rather have a strong opinion on it, as whether I like it or I hate it, rather than it be like, it sounds like everything else you've done before. I'd rather be like, love it, hate it, than be meh about it. And I feel that's what I'm afraid. If it's meh, I'm just like, God damn it, YG. Like that'll infuriate me like even more. I feel like than me just like outright hating the song.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about for this week in my topic. All merely speculation. We really hope it's good. I guess that's all we can do is wait now.
Yep.
And we'll believe it when we see it. So, yep. So that's all we had to say for this week, I guess. So thanks for listening.
Yep.
And
we got IOI week, unboxing week eventually coming up. I got this week. So I'll unbox that, and then I'll go with it.
I wasn't, well, due to me having the flu, I wasn't able to get to editing, but hopefully it'll be out by the week.
Oh, for Astro,
yeah, for Astro.
And then I also got this, but I'm not gonna unbox it. I just want to show it off because I got more. Twice candy pop, more twice.
Candy pop, candy bong, so much candy.
Oh, that's the other thing. I got a new bong on the way. I got my cosmic bong.
A bong or a candy?
Uju bong. I got WJSN's light stick on the way.
Candy bong, pandy
bong, candy bong, pandy bong, candy bong, panda bong, cosmic bong.
Yep.
So that'll be up there soon. Should be here this week for next episode.
All right.
Yep.
That's it, pretty much.
Yep. Annyeong.
Stay creamy.
Thank you.
Throbbingly.
You guys didn't see the thing. You weren't looking.
I saw you with the glasses. And
you weren't looking.
Off.
God damn it.
He had glasses on.
I can't even say it. I'll just do it again. Stay creamy.
Throbbingly creamy. His mom called in the car and she was like, "Yeah, they were playing," and I quote, "Gundam style."
Gundam style.
Gundam.
Oh my Gundam style.
That's gotta be a thing. That's gotta be a thing.
That's gotta be a thing already.
But the fact, I don't think she knows what Gundam is, but that's hilarious. That was the mispronunciation.